Yeah, aloha. I'm back with a blank mind, a blank slate. I wonder what's going to come up today. I found I've been doing these videos almost every day and I haven't uploaded all of them. So there's a bit of a backlog, but that's kind of good because maybe I can do like a daily video and have consistency because I actually feel like consistency can be the key. Now, okay, something's popped in my head. I heard this a while ago and it has stuck with me, and I understand the theory of it, and I've also experienced the actuality of it, even though I don't think I've fully played with it enough, and I feel like I need to make the time, even though time's an illusion. But it's very interesting. So this thing is that I picked up, and I can't even remember where I picked it up from off the top of my head. That might come back to me later. But if you do something, so say if you want to learn guitar or piano or drawing or I don't know, paper mache, origami, if you do something, whatever your choice of something is, for 10 minutes a day, minimum, and you have to do it every day for 30 days in a row, and if you miss a day, you have to start from day one again. But if you can do it for 30 days in a row consistently, at least 10 minutes, but I've got a feeling, and I have done it actually, if you commit to 10 minutes, which actually seems so doable in our busy lives, that you end up doing more anyway, because sometimes the hardest thing to do is the starting of said thing. But if you can do whatever it is you want to learn for 10 minutes a day without skipping a day, something shifts in your neural pathways. It like ingrains, and then everything kind of gets easier. It will shift you to a next level. So you will just get it, and then it will just expand from that point. But it's funny because I said 10 minutes, but often we can go, I don't know. Can I make that? Can I spare 10 minutes in my busy day? Maybe I could, instead of scrolling and Facebooking, put that energy into 10 minutes of something. Or, it could be card tricks. It could even be shuffling, like I've found, because I've been playing with my tarot cards. I'm not really a good shuffler. When I watch tarot, how do they shuffle so fast and so well and do the flippy thing? How do they do that? But that would be through repetition. So repetition is a pretty prominent thing in our lives, isn't it? If you look at things. Practice. Oh, this is so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, or I think it's funny, you might not. And I've actually been doing what I was just saying, actually. I didn't realize I was doing that, but every day I am practicing tuning into my intuition. And what I've found is intuition and that higher guidance, or even the source energy guidance or angelic guidance, whoever it's from, ancestors, is so subtle. It's a whisper on the wind. It's not a shout. It's not a booming voice with the sun shining through the clouds, although it can be, but mostly it's not. It's subtle, and it comes in signs and synchronicities. There was another, I said it recently, signs, synchronicities, and symbols. Signs, synchronicities, and symbols. I'm going to write that down because I had that thought a little while ago. Signs, synchronicities, and symbols are, and secrets. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Signs, synchronicities, symbols, and secrets are the language of the universe, of source energy, of the spiritual. It's not necessarily a loud, clear voice in your head or clear pictures. It's very subtle that if you're not tuning into it, you might miss it. So, okay, I do get off. I realize that, but I'm finding whenever I get off track, I am coming back round. So I was telling my friend that I've been practicing tuning in, and then I'm like, it's so crazy. I'm actually getting better at it. And then we both laugh because it's like, practice makes perfect. So the practice of tuning into my intuition is actually paying off. And I'm now finding that I am noticing straight away now when a thought is not mine. So your thoughts are not always yours. When we have a busy, what some people call the monkey mind, those thoughts are probably yours. And we need to kind of ease up on that because our minds can get so busy with replaying even past stuff or anticipating future stuff to a point even that, you can have these scenarios going through your head. And it's funny, I laugh at myself, and I had an epiphany in the bath recently. I had my phone in there because I was listening to some beautiful frequency music. And then I just kept having epiphany after epiphany. And I was like, I need to write it down, but I'm in the bath. So I ended up going, my phone's there. So I just recorded what the epiphany was. And it was so important and relevant. And now I've just had a mind blank. What was I talking about? That is so bizarre. But I am finding there is short-term memory glitches at the moment. If you're having them too, perhaps let me know because it's nice to know. And I have heard from other friends, I'm not the only one. Short-term memory glitches. All right, let me see if I can go trace my steps. So I was in the bath, I had a epiphany, and then I realized, okay, this is something I realized I would imagine in my mind explaining myself to someone that I felt, say there was a scenario in life, and it was sort of like, well, they don't know where I'm at in life and all the stuff going on, and there's this and this and that, and the layers of things, sort of giving myself that excuse, or if only they knew, they would understand why, whatever it was. I don't want to get into my personal stuff. And then I had this epiphany of, okay, so you're going to explain yourself to that person so they understand that's why you couldn't do that because you've got all these layers of life stuff. And then I asked myself, I went, so am I going to do that with everyone in life? Do I have to go around explaining, well, I can't do that, or that's overwhelming because I've got this going on? And I went, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to anymore imagine that scenario. Imagine myself explaining, well, this is why I can't do that because of the layers. Because when I'm imagining all the stuff that's weighing me down, the this, the that, and that angle, and then that person, and that, I'm actually reinforcing that in my life experience because I'm giving it more energy and locking it into my reality. And I haven't even gone to explain it to someone. And if I did, I would lock it in even more. So I've caught myself now. And when I ask myself that question, am I going to go around explaining where I'm at to absolutely every person that I have interactions with? And I just went, no. And something happened in that. I felt like I set myself free. I felt like I no longer needed to play out those future experiences of what I feel I may need to do with someone, but often we don't even do it but we waste so much energy and we actually fuel the potential scenario of the layers that are weighing us down or whatever it is you might have going through your head. And then also sometimes when we have something happen and then we keep replaying it over to just be sure of what happened. I just want to be sure of what happened. So I'm going to replay that 100 times, even though every time I do it, it hurts. Why do we do that? So in this one night in the bath, and it was a long bath for me. I think I was in there for a couple of hours, and it's so funny, the water didn't even seem to get cooler, that I set myself free from the past mind whirlwind of replaying stuff out. And then I also set myself free from the future explaining. So that would be the past, I'm complaining in my mind of what happened, and then the future explaining myself. And in that moment, as I asked myself, do I really want to do this? And I said no. I literally felt a weight lift off me, and I laughed and thought how crazy that I was even doing that at all. And I'm not anymore, and I feel free. And then that led on to something else about I felt free, I felt whole, I felt at peace, I felt in love. And it was a really good epiphany, but I had multiple ones. I'm actually thinking of how to share those little recordings I had because I don't know, just the way it came out was just so blah, blah, blah. I think I might want to share it by just playing it to the microphone because I don't want to come in all kind of like, now I'm going to write it out or try and repeat it. I've already just said it, so I may bring in some late night bath files for you to listen to, but I'll see. I haven't even listened back yet. We'll see. So, so the universe communicates. The universe doesn't speak English, nor French, German, Indonesian, Chinese, any of our human languages. The language of the universe is, I'm just looking at my page, signs, synchronicities, symbols, secrets, but also love. Like love seems to be at the heart, how fitting, of everything. And I think in life now we are coming back to our center, back to our core frequency, which is unconditional love. And we have been out of balance for a long time. So we're actually, we are coming back to our center of self. Ooh, is that another S? Hang on. Signs, synchronicity, symbols, secrets, and self. And I'll put self-love. I'm really seriously on this trail of code cracking at the moment and finding it very interesting when I read back in my books. I don't remember writing what I wrote, a lot of stuff. So I'm like, holy moly. And then I'll follow that trail. And now I have a few threads of a few other trails that I need to actually, I feel like there's some books I need to read. I need to do some sort of online research with discernment of where I get the information. But there's a trail, and we can all have a trail in our life. Well, we all just do. We all have a trail, but do we choose to walk the trail? And are we now on the road less traveled? That popped in my head. The road less traveled. I think we are on that now. I do feel like we have traveled this road before, and now perhaps we're coming back to it. Maybe we've done a full circle, because I do feel like there's a familiarity in this trail, and that It has been done before, but now we're coming back to it, which is exciting. I'm so excited for where we are, even though it looks really bad. It's like, I think in a previous video when I said about when you clean up your house, when you do the big cleanup, it gets way messier to begin with, to a point that you wish you never started. But once you do get into it and you clear things out, you have to see what's hidden in your house, which is what we're doing globally right now. And then once we actually choose, because that is really the most important thing for any of us to realize, is we do have a choice. Do not give your power away. Do not give your choice away. You don't need to do it loudly. We don't need to fight for it. We don't need to protest and battle. Everything is from the inside out. So if we can all come to that understanding and shift on the inner, the outer cannot not shift. Sorry about how I say that. I often use a double negative. We cannot not, now I'm confusing myself, shift with the inside out. That's so important. I feel like I'm going to be saying a lot about that. And when we all realize and actually all choose, it's actually going to happen really, really quickly. You're going to be so surprised and delighted at how quickly we change this world. But why is there always a but? But if we think we have to do it from the outside in by going out and opposing each other, taking sides, creating war, fighting each other, battling, arguing, being on other sides of the argument, we won't. I mean, I think maybe over a long period of time, but I think not at all, to be honest. I think if that is the way we try and do it on the outside external reality, we won't ever get there, because all reality is a projection from the inside out, which is oh so interesting. And if you're listening to any of the quantum physics and scientists talking at the moment, even this morning was I listening to Greg Braden. There's been a lot of research, a lot of studies, a lot of experiments, and what is coming up, and in this particular one that I was watching, was a lot of scientists, and there's this simulation hologram theory, are saying it's kind of like 94% chance that this is a simulation. This is a hologram. This is not the real reality that we think it is. 94% chance. It's not even 50-50. No, just think about that. 94% chance this is not as real as we think. But in saying that, before you go out thinking, this is a game, I can do what I want. No, because the actual experience of this reality is real. If you cut someone, they're going to bleed. If you cut yourself, you're going to bleed, because the reality is so fine-tuned to the point of the illusion that we don't know it's not real, or we're knowing now. And I think that is divine timing. I think we're meant to come to this point because it's time for us to evolve out of the illusion that, I just forgot. I forgot what I was saying. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not even sure if I can summarize this one, because I know I talked about the synchronicity, sign, symbol, secrets, the 10-second, focus on something for 10 seconds for 30 days. But I seem to just keep coming against blocks. That's so interesting. I will have to re-listen to this myself. So I'm not going to summarize, except I'm just going to take it back to know what it is, what you want as your life experience, because this life experience is a lot more malleable and able to shift depending on where you are on the inside. And I'm going to keep talking because I keep getting the urge. I'm so thankful to the people that have been watching, just to know someone's there, because it kind of, well, I think I would do this anyway because it just won't leave my mind. I'm just getting niggled every day. Go on, Kat, turn the microphone on. And I can't ignore it, so I'll do it anyway. But when I see someone's been watching, I go, okay, all right, at least I'm doing it for one person anyway. So thank you, one person. And thank you to the beautiful people who have left comments. That's also inspirational for me. And I go, okay, all right, I got this. I got this. I'm going to keep going. Wherever this is going, I have no idea, but I will just take one step at a time. So I'm going to vamoose. I do have a lot of work to do. I've just noticed there's the last bit of sunlight as the sun is moving on my little patch of grass out there. So I'm going to take the opportunity, make a cup of tea, give myself 10 minutes, and I'm going to go stand out barefoot on my little patch of grass with my cup of tea and just be for a moment and just connect with the earth, connect with the sun, and just know that this life is beautiful and I'm going to choose really well for myself and really well for all others, because now I know I have a choice. So much love from me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a beautiful morning, beautiful evening, Arvo, whatever it is, and I will pop back in another day.